Hey, Mr. Oliver. Why are you all dressed up? I don't think I've ever seen you wearing anything other than a hoodie.
Hey, I can dress up. I'm here for the quote of the week.
Oh, well, since you look nice.
Don't you think you want a better background than just standing in front of a garage?
Oh, that's a good idea. Thanks.
Hi, Herons. This week's quote of the week comes to us from our nation's 16th president, Abraham Lincoln. Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with a quote next to it. Have a great day, Herons. Something tells me that quote isn't entirely true.
Alright, hi everybody and welcome back to another Media Arts video. Hopefully you enjoyed the quote of the week from my favorite president, Abraham Lincoln. That man was way ahead of his time, understanding credibility on the internet. So, today what we're going to do is we are going to learn how to make a quote of the week so that we can use that content on Heron TV. Now, I won't use everybody's quote, and if you really don't want your quote shared, all you have to do is put a comment next to it in the assignment saying, please don't use this for Heron TV, and I'm happy to respect that. But we would really love to have your contributions because students adding content is what makes Heron TV great. In fact, we are going to have a Heron TV planning meeting on Wednesday at 11:30. Now, all you have to do is go to the office hours link in Google Classroom so that you can come and join. And I'm going to have students from Media Arts, from Heron TV, and we're all going to kind of brainstorm and figure out who wants to host shows, who wants to make jokes and random facts and everything else. So if that's something you're interested in now that you've learned some video skills, come join us this Wednesday at 11:30 in the office hours link in Google Classroom. All right, so let's get started. This week's goals, you're going to make sure that the video that you made last week is in your Media Arts folder. So you really want to be filling that folder up with all sorts of things, especially the video that you made last week using all 5 camera angles. This week what you're going to do is you're going to use Photopea to create your quote of the week poster. So this assignment is going to involve video and Photopea. You're also going to record video footage for the quote of the week, and then you're going to edit your video and use your quote poster as cutaway in that video. And then you're going to export it and upload it to your Google Drive folder, and you're going to attach it to this assignment in Google Classroom. That way I'll be able to access your videos, be able to use them on Heron TV. So let's get started. There's our quote, right? We have quote posters. You've probably seen ones like this before. Oftentimes you'll see an image of the person that said the quote along with the quote next to them. So that is one great way to do it if it is a highly recognizable person such as Abraham Lincoln. However, if it's a more obscure person, you may just want to use an object or just things that relate to whatever the quote may be about. So keep that in mind as you're making your quote. Do people recognize that person right off the bat? So there we go. All right, quote posters. Your task is to create a quote poster that will be used with your quote of the week video. So your job is to first find a quote that you think has an inspiring message. Also, find an image that supports the quote, whether a person or, in this case, we have some donuts. You're going to use multiple pieces of text, some PNG images, and other design elements to make your poster unique. So there's a couple options for how you can do this, and I'm going to show you all of those. First off, with Photopea, you're going to open that up going to photopea.com, and you are going to make your poster that will appear while you're saying the quote. Now, it should include an image of the person that said the quote and the exact text of their quote, but if that author isn't easily recognizable, sometimes better to use an image of the subject, and it can be in any dimension, but it should be a 1920 by 1080. That's your standard widescreen, or 16 by 9, if you want the quote to fill the entire screen while you're talking. I'll show you some different examples of either filling the entire screen or having just a smaller version. So you get to decide how you want your video to look like, and then that's going to dictate what dimensions you should make your poster in. So here's 2 different versions that I have of a quote poster that I made using Photopea. It is by Mahatma Gandhi, and it is "Be the change you wish to see in the world." So the one on the left here is 8.5 by 11 inches is what I chose in Photopea, with a DPI of 300. Now don't really worry about the DPI. When I made these were to be printed. So you could actually probably just leave the DPI alone. But as you go in to create a new project, you're going to select your dimensions either in inches or in pixels. If you want to fill the entire screen, just use 1920 by 1080 in pixels or choose the widescreen template. Either way would work. But you can see I have an image of Gandhi. I have the text, and the text is different sizes. We've got two different styles of text for the signature and for the text. And then also there's some drop shadowing. So a lot of different design elements went into both of these that I was able to use for my quote of the week. Here's some older examples that I did when I made these a few years ago using Google Drawings. If you're absolutely stuck with Photopea, you could use Google Drawings, but you don't get the same resolution. So I highly recommend that you use Photopea for your quote of the week. All right. Now, think about how you can copy your different objects and then apply the same characteristics to them. So for example, this was made in Google Drawings, like I was saying before, but had I made this in Photopea, I could have selected all of the objects as layers on the one side and then adjusted the shadowing to one of them, which would have copied it to all of them. So think about how you can do that. And then also play around with the size of your text. All of these words are in different sizes because I wanted the shape to kind of create to look like that, with B, the change, and the world being the largest word. So think about different ways that you can play with sizes of words for different emphasis. All right, so here is an example of a quote of the week that our very own Mrs. H, some of you may have her for music or for choir, and that she made last year on May the 4th. So there she is dressed as Princess Leia, giving a quote of the week from Yoda, "Do or do not, there is no try." And you can see that this quote poster is not in a widescreen format because it's just off to the side. So if we wanted to fill the entire screen, we would have needed that to be in a widescreen picture of Yoda. But in this case, it works perfectly by placing it off to the side. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a video that introduces your quote. So don't just jump right in, but start off with, "Hi, Herons, here is your quote of the week," or "Here's a quote that's about working really hard," things like that. It should state your quote. It should show the quote poster that you made as well. Then you're going to record video, and you're going to make sure that the audio is nice and clear and the video is stabilized. So that means you might be using a coffee cup tripod. This works really nicely for keeping a phone stable, like I've been showing before. So you can use that, whatever method you have. Maybe you want to use your laptop to keep it stable. It's all fine. Just make sure it's stable because we don't really want to see a video that's just shaking all over the place, right? You want it to be nice and stable while you're recording. Okay, when you deliver your quote, it should be at a medium angle, right? That way you're going to be close to your microphone and you'll be a large subject in the frame. You don't want to be really far away and be tiny. Also, you wouldn't want an extreme close-up for a quote either. You can have other angles in setting up your quote, but when you get down to delivering the quote, it should be a medium camera angle, and you can either cover yourself with a quote or you can just have a cutaway off to the side. All right, when you go to edit, I'm using Clipchamp here. You're going to choose a widescreen format. So no matter what you're using, you want to do that. And then you're going to have to add your media to the project. So I went ahead and found my video of me doing my Abraham Lincoln quote, and then I found the image also that I'm going to do as an overlay. Just added both of those, and then I dragged them to the timeline, which is the bottom part. So once you have both clips on your timeline, your poster is going to have to go in cutaway. So it goes to that area above where it says more. And then you just want to adjust it to slide it to wherever you're saying the quote that the words appear. Now, this was not done in 16 by 9. I just found this version on the internet. So what I'm going to do is make it a little bit smaller. And you can do that by clicking on the image and then resizing it. So when you, I think you just single click there, then you can drag the bottom corner and you can move it to a part of the frame so that it's a little bit smaller while you're talking. If you did this in a full screen version, you could cover the entire screen with it. Just remember that's 1080 if you want to do that. All right, once you have your video just as you want it, then what you're going to do is it's going to be time to export. So that button in the upper right hand corner that says export, you'll click on. Now the free version only gives you a quality of 480, which is totally fine. Go ahead and click that and click continue. And then what you can do is actually save this directly to your Google Drive. So make sure to give it a title like the quote of the week. And then you're going to click save to Google Drive. When you do that, then all you have to do is let it export. It's going to show the progress at the top of the screen. Then you go into your Google Drive, and when you click recent, you'll be able to see the video. And so you can see there it is right there, the quote of the week. It takes a little while to process it, so you're not going to be able to see it on Drive instantly. As soon as it's uploaded to your Google Drive, you're able to add it to the assignment in Classroom by hitting add or create and then attach from Google Drive.
Hi, Herons. This week's quote comes to us from Mahatma Gandhi. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Have a great day, Herons. Hi, Herons. Here's your quote of the week. Be the change you wish to see in the world, by Mahatma Gandhi. Hey everybody, the secret word this week is sunrise, because if you get up early enough, you can capture some really cool pictures. So enjoy the time-lapse video at the end, and remember, your secret word is sunrise. So there it is, sun's coming up. Sunrise, it's the secret word.
All right, so you want to think about lighting and background noises in your video. So I explained this in a little bit of video here, but don't stand in front of a window when you record. Instead, face outside the window so the light can shine on you. Don't be too far away from your microphone, because if you are, you're going to be very quiet or background noises will get picked up, and don't record in a noisy place. So you want to be in the quietest place that you can be when you're recording. And choose a pleasing background. This background here, way too much going on.
Hey everybody, Mr. Oliver here, and I'm recording from my cell phone today just to show you some tips for how, when you record your quote of the week, some things you might want to use. So I'm using a handheld tripod just to hold my camera steady, but I'm keeping it really close to me. I'm going to go over a couple basic things with recording. You can probably hear a lot of birds, maybe some cars in the background. So outdoors is usually great. There's my dog at the door. But going indoors, you can get quieter locations if you think about some important things. So let's take a look at some examples. When you're recording video, you don't want to have a window behind you, because look how shadowy I am here, versus if I turn this way so that I've got the light from the window shining on me. So think about where your light source is. Also, I'm pretty close to my microphone. I'm not zoomed in. I'm only holding it right here, far away from me. So really try and stay close to your microphone, because if you zoom in from far away, you're going to hear all the other noises. If you're standing far away when you're recording, it's not going to sound very good. But if you're standing close when you're recording, it's probably going to sound fine. Think about background noises when you're recording, because some appliances make a ton of noise. That's better. So always think about being in a quiet place. Your microphone does not know the difference between your voice and other sounds.
All right. So thinking about lighting and background noises, you want to stand facing a window so that you're well lit. You want to stand close to your microphone so you're louder than the other noises around you, and record in a quiet place. Outside can be nice if it isn't too noisy, but it can get pretty noisy outside. So there you have it, this week's goals. Remember, make sure that first video you made last week is in your folder, as well as your quote of the week that you make this week. I want you to use Photopea to make your quote of the week poster. Record video footage for your quote of the week in whatever way you like to record your video footage, and then edit that video and use the quote poster as cutaway using whatever you like. Maybe it's iMovie, maybe it's Clipchamp. Whatever it is fine with me as long as it can work. And then lastly, export that video, upload it to your Google Drive folder, and attach it to this assignment. So I'm going to get out of here from the slides.
Never stop creating, and I'll see you in the next video.